Rookie Hunter is proudly brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation. If you'd like to join their mission to put and keep wild sheep on the mountain, you can go to wildsheepfoundation.org, become a member, renew your membership, or become a lifetime member. You can even get yourself some badass WSF merch. All of that can be found at wildsheepfoundation.org. And while you're there, check out Sheep Fever, the official podcast of the Wild Sheep Foundation. Rookie Hunter stayed connected all season long with Zoleo. If you're in the market for a new satellite communicator, go to zoleo.com. That's ZOLEO.com and get yourself a satellite communicator you can rely on. And of course, we're partnered with our friends at North Arm Knives. The spring season will be here before you know it, so head over to northarmknives.com and get yourself a blade. Guys, gals, welcome to episode 171. It's been a while. We're overdue for a podcast. We actually recorded this a few weeks back. I'm just late putting it together, but this was our New Year hangout, and it was nice to catch up with the guys after a busy holiday season, and kind of did a bit of a recap on our 2024 season. We talked about Garrett's whitetail hunt, and many other things. So I hope you enjoy this episode. We've got another hunting story brought to you by North Arm Knives. We're still taking those, and we still got some in the hopper here ready to be played. You can keep those coming if you want to get yourself entered to win a blade from North Arm Knives. Send those to us. Our email address is info@therookihunter.com. Let's get into the episode. Sit back, relax, crack an ice cold beer, and enjoy episode 171. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, you guys too.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has been.
I saw Garrett not too long ago, stopped in at the farm and saw those monster beast horses you have there. Well, one of them.
First impression of the horses, Kelly.
Oh, just like Cash is humongous. That's my first impression. Hank, it's Hank and Cash, right?
Yeah.
Hank is the brown one, and he's still big too, but like Cash is a monster. So
like Kelly, you could call them anything you want. They don't, it's not like they respond to their names.
They don't?
Well,
not really. No, they're just kind of, no.
Yeah. It was cool. Like we walked right in there and just like stood in there with them, and James was with us. Bree came up too. And yeah, man, they're like, I haven't seen horses with feet that big. Like they're just massive. They're like dinner plates, man.
But like you'd have to admit they're pretty mellow, eh?
Oh yeah, super mellow. I mean, we're all standing right there, like just in their space, right? And
yeah,
they would come up and they were like smelling us, and smelling the top of James' head, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, these are big animals, right? Like I don't want something to happen here, but at the same time, it was like you could tell they were super gentle, and we're not around horses like that all the time, right? So it's a bit of a shock when you see them up front.
Yeah.
But yeah, super cool. Bree grew up riding horses actually, but so like it was kind of refreshing for her, I think, to be near horses again.
Yeah, I had no idea Bree had such a history with horses.
Yeah.
Like even when I was showing her
days.
showing her like all the saddles and that, and she knew like all the ins and outs. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Those saddles are awesome, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, super nice.
Garrett, do your dogs go around the horses?
No, they stay in their pen is kind of on the other side of the property there. When I let
the welcoming crew.
Yeah, they're welcoming. That's the doorbell. When I in the springtime when the grass grows down there, I let the horses down there, and they don't seem to mind. When they were younger, yeah, they used to bark at them, but now I think they're just so used to them.
Right.
They get
Yeah.
up and they kind of sniff a bit and then walk around. They don't really care. Same with the horses. The horses just kind of check them out and then that's it.
Yeah.
So it's good. Like Earl's an idiot around horses, man. And
Oh, some dogs are.
like
Oh,
he
yeah.
almost got kicked by a horse. It's like just grazed the side of his face. Like just missed him. Like it
Kill him.
touched fur. Yeah, yeah. And he's trying to play with it like a dog. He's like barking and run around like, you fucking idiot. You're gonna get your head kicked in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he like that kind of like caught his attention when that happened. But like, I don't know if I want you around horses, man. Like you're
Yeah.
Did it smarten them up?
yeah, it did for a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. You don't want to go see what he does next time around.
No, but
You don't wanna take
I
that
think
chance.
that's just it. It's like they need to be around the horses more and they'll get used to it. Then the horses get used to them. So if they walk behind them, they're not just going to boot them. But if they're being idiots, then probably will.
Yeah. And with my horses, like the neighbors got dogs that just wander around. They're in and out of the pen. So,
Oh, okay.
the horses don't. Once in a while, they'll run around a bit. But if anything, like they'll just chase them. Like the horse I've mentioned on here before, the horses will chase the turkeys around.
Right. Yeah. I saw the video of them getting kicked.
Crazy, we got that on video, eh?
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe that turkey just took it.
Oh, just dummied the thing. And then the turkeys just kept fighting after that, fighting each other like it wasn't even.
That's ridiculous.
Didn't know what day it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super cool to see. And then,
yeah, I haven't seen him yet, man.
Yeah, it's going to add a whole nother dynamic to hunting, man. If we can get those things out, even just walking them and, putting bags on them, it'd be unreal.
Yeah, after this year, man, there's no more excuses. Like they're good to go.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. No more. Well, everything is here pretty much ready to rock.
I mean, we should just, at that point, we'll just come to you, like keep it simple.
Yeah. Yeah. That was super cool. You guys came up and hung out with them because they need more. They need more exposure like that. We took them up the mountain there the other day with the kids GTing and the horses were rolling around the snow and kids are GTing up and down the hill. Yeah, it was good.
That's cool.
Me, my wife, and my mom was up there too. She was watching the kids GT and the horses were just like playing around the snow.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then I also got some bear sausage from Garrett. Mike, I got to give you some of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've already had a batch of those in the barbecue and super good gear.
Yeah, I think they turned out awesome. They're unreal. Now, here's the thing. Do you, even though they're cured and they're smoky, do you still cook them up to temperature? Like I am because I'm just paranoid.
Yeah. Technically, you should be able to eat them as they are.
Yeah, but just like a hot dog.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know about
no,
that.
like they're cooked, but it's not worth the risk. I mean, if you were starving and it was the end of the world, then go for it. But I think it's just better to get them heated up.
What's the magic temperature again?
160.
160.
I think you're fine though. I mean, they're technically Smokies. You could buy a pack of Smokies, at the store and eat them right out of the wrapper. I think it's kind of similar process that they go through, but like I'm the same as you guys. I just cook it to 160 just for my own peace of mind.
Yeah,
same. Yeah.
And Garrett, you went to the butcher and they only did certain things with bear meat, I think, right? Because you were looking at doing chorizo and they said, no, we don't get it to, I guess they just don't hit that temp with that type
that's right. That's why they didn't do it because they let me try the chorizo and that smoking that. And I was like, oh, fuck, this chorizo is unreal. I got it all done in this. And then they called back. I forgot why they told me, but that must be it.
Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
why.
Because they're a little on the...
It's a cold smoking process.
On the wetter side, yeah.
I mean, fuck, by default, turned out pretty damn good. Those smokies are, the kids, they love them. I'm eating them all the time. They're awesome. I got to pull back the throttle on them. Otherwise they're going to all be gone.
Nice.
I'll have to shoot another bear. I would shoot another fall bear in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. I'm already thinking about it. Which, I thought we should kind of do a recap of last season, and that's where it all started for me. Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't get jack shit. You know what pisses me off is maybe this isn't true, but I feel like I put in
Let's
more
hear it.
hours, maybe even combined hours than you two, and I came fucking home empty-handed after hundreds of hours and hundreds of kilometers. Garrett just went out there and fucking slammed everything that was moving, and
I put in a lot of time too, man.
yeah. But no, it's I think that's kind of the takeaway is like, I mean, a lot of it's just luck, man, and I think hopefully for the average hunter, they don't feel so discouraged by listening to this, because it's not like I'm a bad hunter. It's not why I didn't, succeed this year. I mean, the rifle was the big part, and I don't think we closed that story. But anyways, it's just the way it fucking goes sometimes, man. Sometimes you do really well. Sometimes luck's not on
like
your
if
side,
you're,
so
but if your rifle wasn't like that, there'd be meat in the freezer for you.
there would be.
Yeah. If you were shooting
like that would have
a
been
different pack of bullets, or
Yes.
Mike's gun or my gun or Garrett's gun in that particular instance, it would have been a deer down.
Yeah.
I had. So should we? I don't think we closed this out, did we, Kelly?
I can't remember.
Well, if we didn't, it ended up being the ammo, not the rifle.
What? No way.
So I took it to the gunsmith. I think it was like $170 or something to get it all, which it needed, whatever. I feel good. It's all cleaned and everything. So they took the bolt apart and they cleaned it all up, and they said we talked about this. It was full of or like the lubricant or the oil, or whatever the fuck is in there.
Yeah.
Like basically
Dirt
solidified from being out in the heat and stuff like that. So that's done. So anyways, I thought it was all good to go. They test fired it and everything in the shop and said, yeah, it's working fine. So Kelly and I went out for a drive. Actually, that was with James. We brought James grouse hunting.
Yep.
And then we stopped in this clearing, and I'm like, okay, let's try this thing out. Put a round in there, click. Another one, click.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on? And ended up being the ammo, because Kelly had a 168.
I had some extra Barnes TTX,
right.
TTSX bullets, because I don't use them any. I use nozzlers because
put that in there and bang.
Put another one in.
Holy cow.
Yeah, put another one in, bang. No problem. Like, God damn it, man.
Put another nozzlers, bang again. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
so put my original ammo back in. Those are the ones that were kind of shooting a little wild, but I mean, had I known what the problem was, they shoot. Yeah. So I would have, should have had some of those in my bullet pouch but I didn't know what the problem was originally. And so.
Yeah.
Fucking
you know what,
off.
man? Like,
man, that's crazy.
I still got the keys for the range. Like, we should probably go sometime when the snow's a bit.
Is it?
We don't have a ton of snow right now anyways.
No, we don't. Is it a calendar year, or how does that work?
I have to, so I'm going to email them for another set of keys.
Oh, okay.
But I was thinking, like, I still have, I think, enough of those Barnes bullets that I don't use that you could just, you know how the nozzlers shoot. You might as well just shoot like 5 of these Barnes and see which ones shoot better. And then whatever ones do, you should just start buying those.
Yeah. Well, buy those ones off you if you're not using them, if they're shooting good.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a ton. Like, you can just have them. I think I have like less than 10.
Oh, nice.
Like, they're just a handful, basically.
Yeah.
But then as long as
core locks.
As long as you know, right? Yeah, I could just huck them at the deer. Put them in a slingshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird though. I mean, you know what I would be curious too is what would happen if I put those core locks in my rifle? Like, I wonder if there's like the length of the firing pin is part of the issue.
That's those were the original ones that my old man used. That's why when the nozzlers were shooting funny, I'm like, okay, I'll go back to these, because that's what he had. And they actually shot really well in that rifle.
Yeah.
And even the ones that we were able to fire off at the range, they were bang on. So, so if it wasn't a shitty box of ammo, then it would have been no problem, man. They're a cheaper ammo, but apparently there's nothing wrong with them. They're good for factory ammo for a cheaper one. So supposedly, but I won't be buying them again.
Trust them, yeah.
Well, if you do find something you like, I mean, learn from my mistake from our hunt. Like, buy them now. Like, geez, I thought I was going to show up with you guys and have no ammo. I went to I don't know how many different stores to find the bullets I shoot. Like, I couldn't find them anywhere. And I stupidly left it to the last minute thinking, I'll be fine. Everyone's got ammunition.
Yeah.
Nope. So, I mean,
Yeah.
like now, well, who knows? Like, at least you got a window between now and fall,
Mm-hmm.
unless
Yeah.
you plan on going out in the spring.
Well, yeah, we'll probably hit the range in the spring or something again.
Yeah. And then bear.
Yeah. Yeah. So yet to kind of really sort that out. But
yeah, we've been lucky with like Canadian Tire and places like that seem to hold the ammo we were shooting
yeah,
at
Canadian
least.
Tire's
And
pretty good for that. Yeah.
yeah. And then the other one is Cabela's. Sometimes the prices will be better there, but you just got to wait until the free shipping kind of lowers. So sometimes it's free shipping on everything. Sometimes it's $50. Sometimes it's $150. So you got to just wait, and eventually it'll.
I'm not kidding, man. When we went, I think I mentioned on this that Canadian Tire was sold out. Like I went to like multiple different Canadian Tires. Cabela's was sold out.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell's going on here?
I find Canadian Tire can be pricey sometimes too, but I think it depends on the ammo.
Yeah. Live and learn.
But, yeah.
I got some now. Well, yeah, I should buy more.
Yeah.
It's always good to have more.
Yeah.
I think I'm set for the season, but I guess it depends how much shooting we do. It is fun to go up there and shoot a bit. Mike, you did spend a lot of time looking for black bear though. You guys were up there because you were trying to get Kelly Veltri there.
Yeah.
Something.
I did some backpack trips. I did some FSR stuff and put a lot of scratches in my new car and
I forgot about the Veltri thing. You guys got out there and got after it.
Yeah.
I went out with you that one or two times and
not for a lack of trying. And then, when you think back, you're like, Garrett, that bear you and I saw, I should have pulled the trigger on that one. But I was, so focused on that huge bear that I had seen a couple days before. I'm like, that's the bear. I got to find that bear. But
yeah,
I mean, whatever.
I just learned
rifle wouldn't have worked anyways.
Yeah. Learned from all us talking, like you
would have got into an altercation with it.
Yeah.
You have to whack it over the head.
Yeah. What you guys might need a minute to think about, but some highlights from your season other than harvesting many things, Garrett. I'm going to go first. I was thinking about this. Might spark some ideas for you guys, but underrated. A good nap when you're out there. Just passing out, leaning up against a tree or just passing out in some moss, man. Oh, yeah. I don't even know how long I'd fall asleep sometimes. It could have been like 5 minutes. It could have been 45 minutes. Just out there in the sun, you'd fall asleep for a bit.
That is a great feeling.
I love those outdoor naps, man.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you're not shooting anything. Everything's walking by and you're sound asleep. Yeah. Yeah.
No, those are good. I got more. What do you got, Garrett?
Man, I always go back to, like, I know we're kidding around about shooting stuff and that, but that's never been the pinnacle for me. It's the adventure. And I think we got to go on another killer adventure again this year, which is the highlight, amongst the other adventures I got to go on this year that I'm super thankful to go on. But our camp set up and the country we're hunting and the camaraderie and, you look back on those pictures now, we're in the dead of winter and you got all those pictures like, oh man, that was awesome. I'd go back there in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I got to send you guys my photos, by the way. I don't think I did.
I just getting out and seeing new country and experiencing different hunts, man. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I might have said this on the last episode, but just like the way we hunted this year, like, and for me, like I felt I dialed in my like glassing technique. So I was, I was like focusing on that quite a bit this year. And like to Garrett's point about just the experiences, like I just think back to the one we had one morning. I think Mike, it was you and I, and Garrett was up in another area, but left the camp, didn't really eat a breakfast or have coffee at the camp. And then, you find like a perfect place to watch. The sun's coming up. You have like your breakfast meal there, and then you're like cooking coffee, and it's like you're doing it well. It's all organized, like nothing's loud. You're kind of just like, it's just perfect, And then you start seeing animals. Like it's like you go through that 1 hour period of there's nothing. It's just silence. And then all of a sudden, like you just see things start to move. So, I don't know. It just feels like experience, like it's just starting to come through a bit in terms of like kind of how you set off on your day and what you're going to do and how you set up your glassing spot and just everything coming together, right? Like it didn't, other than Garrett, like he got the animals down this year, but I feel like we were always positioned to kind of, all three of us kind of be in that position to it just had to work out the right way.
Oh yeah, totally. We were on animals, so what more can you ask for besides putting one in the freezer?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the other piece, obviously, brought James out a couple times and, did some grouse hunting with him, just having him out in the truck and firing the 22 and his Red Rider that he has. And Mike, you got him a nice pair of binos for his birthday there that he's like still walking around with. So
Swarovskis?
Yeah, close. You got some nice junior Vortexes for him.
Oh, so, sweet.
James was stoked about that. And he's always...
Those will last until he's like 16.
Yeah,
hopefully.
He's always like, oh, is Uncle Mike coming? So, yeah, you want him over with those things.
Yeah.
But he'll be out with us a lot this year.
Yeah, man. It's fun.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So my last hunt was at the end of October, just before I left for Jersey to go fishing. And I didn't see any bucks, but man, I saw so much cool shit that day. And I sent you guys some videos and found a new area, found a new water source, found like all this shit that's going to come in handy for the next season. So
nice.
It, even though it wasn't a successful day and it was, the end of it, it was pretty epic, man. Cool close to a pretty awesome season. I think about like, there's all this stuff, like the uncomfortable stuff that sticks out, like sleeping in that crazy windstorm for like 2 nights, man. And
holy fuck, I forgot about that.
It's cool to just know what your gear can handle and what you can survive in.
In your brain.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're pretty lucky to have all of the equipment we do and the like options for equipment we can use for all of these various hunts. And it's cool to be out there. And the day that you guys abandoned me, I had like owls outside the tent and stuff. And it was pretty cool, man.
And that windstorm, I was so frustrated by that point, like just with the weather. And because that was like days on end of like wind and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I just put the earplugs in and thought, if a tree falls on us, so be it.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to.
I'm getting some sleep.
I don't like that feeling of being in a tent with earplugs in, though, man. It feels weird. Someone could just come in there.
Well, I figured not all of us would have earplugs, so I kind of took a chance at being the only one.
Nice. Good year, for sure. Yeah, Garrett, you did exceptionally well. So
yeah, sometimes the stars align and you're able to pull it all together. But like I said, I got out lots too, man. It's just, picking the right place, the right time of the year, and then having the luck, right?
Yeah.
Happen to take time off work at the right time and
man,
put myself in a place where there's animals and they happen to move through the right time. And like you said before or earlier on the podcast, Mike, don't be discouraged if you're out there and going hard at it and it's not happening, because eventually it will if you keep at it.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, and I got a little taste of everything. I got the backpack hunt in this year. I got the, quad to a certain spot and then hike backpack in.
Yeah.
And then I got the cabin hunt in, which was cool. So super fortunate to do all that stuff, which was awesome. Yeah. And then like Kelly, you mentioned, to do it with family. I got a little bit of family time in there too with the hunting, which is huge. And spending time with you guys. I mean, I got the full package this year, man. It's awesome.
Do you guys want to, Garrett, we need to cover your whitetail hunt.
Sure.
And got a nice little segue. I got another hunting story and ties in with family, what you guys were just saying there. So this one came from John. And it's about a mule deer doe.
I started hunting as an adult in 2019 and was immediately hooked and excited to share the hobby with my son. Fast forward to 2023, I now have 2 boys, 9 and 6, who have been hounding me to take them hunting for deer after a few fun outings for grouse. November hits. and I am well on the road to an empty freezer, so we pack up to head to a spot where I have a mule deer doe tag. When we arrive, it's a bit late in the day, and we spotted a couple of does down in the bottom of a coulee at last light. The boys are excited and telling me to shoot it. I explain that it's late, and if I shoot it, we are going to be out there in the dark for a long time, quartering it and getting it to the truck, and explain that the shot I had to take might not be the best, so we would let them go. The next morning, we get up early and head out and spot a doe early. I take a shot off my backpack, and to my horror, I'm low and hit the deer in the leg. So much for being super careful with my shot. The deer starts running. I take another shot, and the doe hits the snow. The boys were super excited. The best part came afterwards. They were both really interested in what came next and were amazed to see the heart and all the treasures inside. The icing on the cake was the older boy helping me wrap the meat for the freezer. He labeled everything, and it brings a smile to my face every time I take some out of the freezer.
Nice. Garrett, you can relate that to that one with the boys, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were helping me wrap up some of the bear sausage, and
Nice.
they labeled it too. That's awesome.
Did they? Nice.
Yeah, that's wicked. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, get the kids involved. Get them out there. Get them doing
Yeah.
stuff, whether it's a BB gun or, they love being out and interacting with wild game and
their
man.
food too. Like that's,
Oh, yeah.
it's like his point about, he looks at the writing and it connects them to that, like, and the kids too, they probably like, you could show it to them and be like, hey, this is what we're eating tonight. And everybody gets pumped. It's not like typical grocery store,
Oh, they're super curious. I mean, my kids are. And then, like you said, they get to see the whole process.
Totally.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just picturing your kids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or they'd be like, say something like, I want to see his brains or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh,
All right, let's hear this whitetail story, Garrett. Kelly and I have not heard it.
The whitetail. Oh, the deer shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like we were talking before. Everything, there was snow early in November, and then it got cold, and then we got in there third week November. So lots of snow on the ground. You couldn't ask for anything better. There was deer running around everywhere. The rut was on. It's awesome. Seeing a pile of bucks, little guys, mostly little. And then just luck would have it. Early one morning, we got up, went out. Here was a nice buck. It was a lot different than the rest of them. I'm like, oh, I'm going to shoot this one. This one I want to shoot. But I mean, I wanted to shoot one that's, not a small spike. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you want to shoot a spike and listen to the podcast, by all means, go at it. That's just
well, it's different when you got meat in the freezer too. You can be a little more choosy, right?
Actually, speaking of that, I literally took the day prior to me shooting that buck. I took a video of a spike coming into me to like 15 yards, walking into me like curious, like trying to figure out what I am, and I was standing still, and I pulled my phone out and videotaped it, and it's like, I could have spit on the thing. It walked right up to me. And I was like, I can't shoot this thing. There's no way. Like, it's a bit bigger than the hounds. So,
were you rattling or anything? Or
yeah, we did some rattling, and like the rut was on. I mean, those bucks were chasing does everywhere.
Yeah.
But to have it come up that close and not spook, and you can tell the deer was curious and trying to figure me out. Like, that was cool just to experience.
Totally.
Yeah.
So then fast forward to the next day when I seen this other one, which is not, by any means big or, it was bigger than the spike, but it's not no monster buck or anything like that. I was like, this is a good buck and it's good for me and I'm going to shoot it. What I did wrong, again, if you're learning from the podcast, is I did not have a great rest, and it kind of segues off that story you just played, and I made a fucking horrible shot.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, not good. I don't feel good about that. I hit the deer. I hit him in an artery. Good. It's a good thing I did, because the thing, and thankfully there was snow on the ground. So I hit this deer and it took off like a bullet, and I figured, I missed it. So then I went over there to have a look, and I was like, oh, there's blood on the ground. Well, that's all right. Well, I hit it. I aimed for the heart. So must have hit it in a good spot. And I'm like, it's probably just lying over here. And then the blood trail, it goes a little further. I keep looking. Okay, well, it can't be much further. I keep looking, and the blood trail continues. I'm looking, and now it's going a little further, and I'm looking even further, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, fuck. Where'd this thing go? So the blood trail just kept going and going. I'm like, man, this thing, it got to the point, man, where I was tracking this thing. I'm like, how much blood did these things have? Like,
Wow.
it has to be clearly out of blood. So then this deer ran all the way through the woods and went underneath this farmer's fence through a field, which I was not hunting on private property. I was hunting on public land, just to make that note.
Yeah.
But this is how far this thing ran. Went under the fence, ran through this farmer's field, continued on somewhere I don't know. So I had to stop, go back, go to the farmer's house. I put all my stuff away, and I went there respectfully, knocked on the door. This person answered, and I basically told them, what I was doing. And they were very appreciative that I came
Nice.
and, approached them and didn't just go onto their land and track this animal.
Yeah.
So they were actually very appreciative of that. And they said, yeah, by all means, continue on. And hopefully you find this deer that you shot. And then this little like border collie looking dog at the front of the house there when I came up, and it was, wagging his tail and running, doing circles, knock on the door. And I, asked for permission, that and everything. It's all good. So they let me go on my way. It's like, it's a huge farm. I go all the way back down where I last seen the blood trail. So I get under the fence, get underneath it there, and I start following this blood trail. Then I get to the other side of the fence where the deer hop the fence, and there's blood everywhere. And I'm like, what is going on here? This deer is like got some insane amount of blood. So this other fence, I had to lie down, roll underneath it again. Well, as I rolled under the fence and got up, here's the dog wagging his tail beside me. And I'm like way out on their farm, and he's just like having the time of his life. Like, what are we doing here? Like wagging, like, this is awesome. See, he gets on the blood trail, and then he starts following the blood trail. And meanwhile, I'm trying like, no, you got to, I'm trying to get the dog back to the person's house.
Yeah.
And then they got cattle out there and horses. I'm like, oh my
geez.
God, this is just spiraling downhill. Where is this deer? Like, it's got to be dead here anytime soon. Anyways, it went through the other side of the person's farm. I got the dog back to the owner, and he was kind of laughing like, oh yeah, the dog loves doing stuff like that. It's, good dog. I'm like, okay, and then I go back, and then couldn't find the deer. I ran out of daylight.
Oh, geez.
Like, couldn't find it anywhere. Still blood trail, but I'm like, where is this thing? It was getting dark, and the last thing I wanted to do was bump it. Maybe it was bed. I could see where it bed down and get back up. I was like, oh, this is horrible. Felt disgusting, went to bed, felt horrible. I'm like, I'm getting up in the morning. I'm going back, finding the deer. So the next morning comes, I wake up early, go back to that same spot with the blood trail, walk up over this ridge. Boom, jumped the buck, still alive.
No way.
Yep, still alive, jumped up. And I was like, oh, it's bigger than I thought. And I hit it, and I could see where it was lying down. So it ran up the side of this bank, did like this 180 and came back around, started blowing past me, then slowed down up through this buckbrush, and then just boom, I drilled it. And then lights out, dead. And I was like, holy cow. I thought like I was going to walk into this area, the buck was going to be dead. I think I was under the impression that I kept bumping it, it kept moving.
Right.
So I was like, I'm just going to let it die. That was my mentality from the night before when it was getting dark and I couldn't see anything anymore. So I was like, I know it's in here somewhere, so I'm just going to just let it die, and I'll come back first thing in the morning. It was cold enough that I didn't think the meat was going to spoil or anything, but
right.
I did not think the thing was still alive.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I went in there, and the thing jumped up out of that buckbrush and took off like a bullet. And then for some reason didn't want to climb that mountain, spun a 180, ran right by me, hit that buckbrush again, slowed down, and then I just had a shot it. Boom.
Crazy.
And it just like buried into the ground. I was like, holy cow, my heart was just pumping hard. Like, I've never seen that happen before. That's pretty wild. And then just, I was like, my dad was there. He's like, all right, you got it. It was like, We couldn't believe it, you know?
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah. So, you know, we got our pictures and everything, you know, field dressed it out. Tons of meat. I had to drag that thing up and out of there. My dad helped me and he's in his 70s. So we had to slump that thing up out of that little drainage over that ridge all the way back. It's like, you know, a part of me thinks like, oh, man, I should have made a better shot, but I'm glad I stuck with it, tracked it down, you know, and just didn't give up right away. You know, so many things I could have changed during that, but sometimes things just don't go your way, man.
Yeah, no, they don't, man.
Yeah.
And
you know, when I put the shot on the bear, it died quickly.
right.
Same with the elk.
Yeah.
Same thing. But the deer, I don't know what happened, man. Maybe I hit a stick or a twig when I shot at him the first time. The bullet deflected, or anything could happen. I don't know, man. And sometimes that just happens.
Yeah.
But I didn't give up. I got the deer. Learned a lesson. Crossed that farmer's field, which I've never done before. And even the whole time I was like, I got to knock on their door. You know, if they say no, then
you never know. Some crazy motherfucker comes out of there with a shotgun and
get off my property. You know,
as kids, we used to get chased off of farms. Garrett, you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, just for being kids hanging out playing.
Yeah, going underneath the fence, and that guy seemed to know every time we crossed that fence, man, he'd come out with a gun.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy's he's a bit weird, that man. Yeah. But nonetheless, got the deer. Now it's all turned into sausage. We made what did we make? Mild Italian, medium Italian sausages. And we made pepper and onion sausage.
Nice.
So yeah, got a whole bunch done. It's delicious.
Yeah. Well, I'd say most of the hunts we've done probably don't end the exact way we plan them to. So that's one thing with hunting, is you never really know what's gonna happen.
No. Yeah, you never know.
There's been a couple where it's like, oh, that was it. You know, I think I've been on maybe one or two where it was like, oh, that went exactly to plan, and then like the rest of them were that's actually the fluke, basically.
Yeah,
those two were the fluke.
Like, I think, you know, like there's so much in that story that I'm leaving out. Like, even just having that farmer's dog, I'm like, that's the last thing I need, is then it'll lose this farmer's dog. I lose a deer.
Right. Just
lost the dog. You know, I let all his cattle
layers of stress.
Yeah. Oh, the stress was just through the roof. I'm like, where is this thing? Like the blood trail, I can see no problem. I'm like, it's got to be like right here. And I just kept going on and on.
It's a good point with when you mentioned them bedding down. That's Kelly's buck did that too.
Yeah,
and
the first one.
We made the mistake of continually pursuing it rather than just fucking waiting. But we were fighting daylight and the snow was falling like crazy, and
snow was deep too.
So, but looking back, we should have just waited a lot longer than we did, even after the first shot, because Kelly had shot it and it just bedded down, and we thought it was dead, I think, and then
remember we went down there
and ran away, and then it would bed down, and then we would catch up to it, would bed, and we could just never close the distance between it. But I think if we had just waited, watched, but I think that thing survived anyways, because the blood trail turned into pretty much nothing at a certain point. But different story for yours, Garrett.
Well, when it jumped up there the second time I seen it, the next morning, I was like, this thing's fine.
Yeah.
And then when it hooked to 180 there, I was like, oh, big mistake, buddy. And I got you now. And then, nailed him. But I had hit him. It just wasn't a good shot.
Right. Yeah. They're tough, man.
They are tough. Yeah, they're tough. Just, I refuse to give up. That's what I had going for me. Just don't give up, man. Yeah.
So, Garrett, and I might have missed this, but your method of hunting there, was it like sitting and rattling? Or were you kind of walking around, just stalking?
Yeah, we were walking around. There's so many deer ripping around. We were just kind of walking in on a road closure.
Right.
And then, I mean, there was just deer everywhere, man. It's just like timing. It was the right time.
Yeah.
You know, right weather.
I feel like that's the most, like Mike going back to the bear hunt this year and like how much you put in, and, you know, it's not for lack of being out there, for lack of effort or method or anything like that. It's just, are we in the right place at the right time? You know, and like the right place, I guess, because like most of the hunting we do is is in the fall, it would be good maybe this spring to check out some areas, talk to Lander or some folks like that, and just see if we can kind of dial in like where the animals are at that point in the year. It's hard though, because like depending on the winter and the spring and the weather, it feels like it's more dynamic. Like they're not just going to be where you think they are all the time in the spring, right? Like you're kind of chasing them.
Yeah.
I think like aside from the hunts we've done together, I think both of you guys have picked very good spots where there eventually will be animals there. If not, they are there. Yeah.
I'm going into this next season with more confidence that I've ever had, I think, as far as knowledge gained from the previous season.
Yeah.
But you never know what the next season's going to be like. But
yeah, the thing is, could be
if things, if there are some trends between this previous year and next year, I think there's going to be some good opportunities for a few different things. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I should mention that my dad and my father-in-law were with me on this hunt, and they helped out a ton, man. Those guys, having them around, even with the elk there, even my brother, they helped me cut it all up at the meat cooler there, just standing around and hanging out. Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my dad and my father-in-law cut up that entire deer. I had to take my kid to a hockey tournament. So I left this area in a giant blizzard, packed everything up, got the deer in the back, got my gear, ripped all the way home. My dad's like, just drop everything off here. I'll hang it up in your shop. I loaded up the kids and my wife, and then we took off on the road to go on a hockey tournament. Came back. My dad had the deer all butchered up, and my father-in-law. So, huge help. It's unreal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Takes a village.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So what are you guys thinking for 2025? What do you want to do? We thought about it?
Well, I think we're
probably
going to have to, we're probably going to have to apply for that LEH, the moose, right?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the wild card.
Yeah. Beginning of October hunt, right?
Yeah. I think it's actually, is it a half month or a 1 month? I can't remember. I think you're right.
I think it's half.
I think it's a half, yeah.
I think you can apply for the later half too, though, or something. I can't remember.
So that's like, if that happens, then it could change, what we're thinking. But I don't know. It's hard to not want to, I don't know about you guys, but it's hard to not want to chase muleys and elk around.
Yeah. I need redemption. So my vote is to go back to the same place and do it over again.
I got my moose spot figured out with you guys. I got my sheep spot figured out. I got my goat spot figured out. I got my mule deer spot figured out. It's the elk one that's tricky.
Yeah.
Right. I think I might have that figured out.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all depends how the LEH just throws a wrench in everything.
Yeah.
The moose is a no-brainer. That's like, just go for that.
And we were talking about doing group LEH, or how do they call it? Group hunt?
Shared hunts?
Shared hunt? Yeah. And basically we're rigging it so that we're all going no matter what, but with different parties. So
yeah,
like we thought it'd be cool if like Kelly applied with his dad and his father-in-law, and Garrett, you did the same with your dad and your father-in-law, and me with my brother-in-law or whatever. I think we had it all figured out, the best way to do it so that we can increase our odds, but also be no matter what happens, we're going to
either shooters or helpers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more than happy to be a strong back in the group if that's all it is.
Oh, me too, for sure.
I'm happy to hang out and set up base camp.
It's just such a good hunt to get the old boys out with us and have a nice cozy camp and that those for that reason alone are kind of important ones to do well. Yeah, all those guys can still get out with us because it's fun, man.
Oh man, I got to dig that camp out. I got to see what kind of. I'm sure it's nothing wrong with it, but I can't remember what kind of shape it was when I put it away.
The wall tent?
I'm talking about the wall tent.
Oh, Why?
just like all the spikes and the rope. Like there's so much shit there, right?
Right.
And they're awesome once you get it all set up, but
Yeah.
it's all put away in my workshop there, and it's like I gotta dig
Yeah.
this thing out and see what kind of shape it's in.
It's
You know?
always such a good idea. Like it feels like such a good idea to get a wall tent, but unless you have the space to like, when you get home, put it out, Garrett, you talk about that all the time. It's like the maintenance side. It's like, I don't know because I've thought about grabbing one too. Cause like, Jax came out that time and stayed in the tent. Like I think everybody has, it's such an easy way and vehicle to kind of like get kids and family out to even just spend a night. Right.
Yeah. You don't like,
but it's so much work. Just the maintenance of putting it away and.
Yeah, you need a spot to hang it out and dry it out
Yeah.
if it's wet. Otherwise, they rot.
But who has like, where do you put it? It's like, 16 by 4. You basically have to have a big garage and empty the garage out and kind of like prop it up in there, right? But I mean,
yeah. Well, lucky for me, I got that big shop, so there's hooks in there, and I just string it out, and then I got the wood stove in there. I get it going and dries everything out.
Yeah.
But it's like all the other gadgets that go inside of it, right?
Yeah.
You don't need all those extra pieces to go inside. Like, man, you could just have the shell and just throw your stuff down inside.
No, but
all that other stuff makes it pretty comfortable.
It just tops it off, right? It feels like a little resort out there.
Oh yeah.
But you need basically you're filling your truck and another like 8 by 10, like a 10-foot trailer behind you just to bring all this stuff out there.
Yeah. Well, you guys remember, like we always talk about the first hunt we ever did, and it was just shit weather, and we were just hanging out, tunes going, unreal meals, generator running, lights, wood stove,
grizzly bears dancing outside.
outside.
Garrett's flying 20 feet through the air.
Yeah, the lumberjack.
It was comfy though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Aside from sleeping on the top bunk and melting.
Oh, that one night, it was just so hot. I thought I was going to die. It was so hot I couldn't even get up, but I thought I was going to suffocate, man. It was a sauna in there.
Yeah, you're like, man, because I was on the bottom bunk. And you're like, man, you should get up and like put your head at like the top bunk level and see the temperature difference. It was like 10 degrees. Like, thank God I got the bottom bunk tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was blasting you with farts down there anyway. I got my revenge.
It was insane though. Like the difference in temperature about 2 or 3 feet,
2 feet or so. Yeah. Not much.
But if we are successful, in pulling this Moose LEH, I'll definitely be bringing that wall tent out.
Yeah.
And I'll set it up the exact same way with all the added stuff. I just got to make sure none of it's like punched out. I'll do I'll set it up and make sure everything's legit. If we do get
nice.
Yeah. If we do get the LH draw.
Yeah.
Nice. And if we don't, fine too. We've got places to go.
Yep. Cool. Well, that's good. Last year it took us forever to figure out what we were doing. Now I think we've already got plans, either Moose or we're doing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wrong with that. And Mike, we're both hitting the 4.0 this year. So
that's true.
We got to, keep the jogging and weights and, hiking and all that stuff going here. It's starting to get critical.
Yeah.
If we get that Moose draw, I'm bringing a shit ton of junk food.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There'll be Rubbermaids full of it. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think those types of hunts, you come back fatter than when you left, man.
Yeah. Although, like that not last year, but the year before when we did get the moose down, those quads came in handy.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
It was, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Broke out into teams, 2 quadders and 2 cutters basically, and it all nailed down. We even got some time out under the stars to just kind of like chill out and take it all in at that point.
Yeah. I think we had a beer after we finished everything and just looked at the stars while we waited for them to come back. It was nice.
Yeah. In the
how does that tag work? Is on the shared hunt, are you just get 1 moose or can you get 2?
2 if you have more than 2 in the party, I think. I think if you just have 2 people in the is that how it works, Mike? I think you need to have a certain amount of people in the shared group
to get 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Moose, but
gotcha. 2 moose, that's a ton of meat.
Yeah.
It's almost, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work too.
It is.
Awesome.
Yeah, sweet. I can't wait to get back out and do it again.
Yeah, man. I'm pumped.
Yeah, same here.
April's not that far away.
No,
It's
it's coming
not.
up fast. Yeah.
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 Get a bear on my 40th birthday. See if that can happen.
Yeah, we always try to do like a camping trip on May long, so I might have to toss the ATV in the truck this time. See if I
you
can
should.
sneak out.
Yeah.
I'll give you a call.
That's
Who
a good
knows?
spot.
Yeah. May long. I could be crippled by then, bucked off the back of a horse. I'll have the Stephen Hawking's wheelchair up moose hunting on tracks.
Well, we better get that moose on then.
Yeah.
I'll get a winch put on the back of it. Yeah.
Nice. Anything else?
Oh, man.
No, good to see you guys.
Yeah, likewise.
Good catching up.
Yeah. Right on, guys. Cheers.
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 There you go. Episode 171. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll be back soon. We got to get some guests lined up or something to fill in the in-between season here before we get into April. That's not that far away, so I'm getting excited already. As you heard, we've already got some plans in the works. Curious to hear what you guys are up to. You can always reach out to us, send us an email, info@therookihunter.com. And we might read it on the air. We might write you back. And we like it when you guys keep in touch and let us know what you're up to. But that's it for this one. We'll see you guys soon. Cheers.